Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. Today we got one case of 2025 Leaf Trinity football hobby to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, BMC.collectibles, and save us to the seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know we got live and be live. Also, mention no further essays for link down in the description. Box number one. Good luck, everybody. DJ Bordell, 12 of 25. Darian Coleman, 5 of 7. Harlan Berry, 50 of 75. Caleb Cunningham, 1 of 7. Ja'Cory Watson, on card, 13 of 49. Special K, 30 of 35. And Juju Lewis, patch auto, 3 of 35. That is the container of Trinity I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Noah Roberts, 2 of 35. Derek Baker, 5 of 7. TJ Moore, 35 of 50. Ryan Montgomery, 20 of 35. David McComb, on card, 2 of 49. Amarian Hampton, 21 of 25. And Bryce Underwood, patch auto redemption. No sound? I think that's a you thing. I don't know how to tell you that's a you thing, though, Arnett. There's always the conundrum. How do you tell someone that the sound problem, it's not your sound? Jared Curtis, 6 of 35. Dylan Jones, 5 of 7. Quinn Gibson, 26 of 75. Jaden Bow, 10 of 35. Jordan Davison, 25 of 35. Dual Auto, Deuce Knight, and Bryce Kane, 20 of 35. And Riley Leonard, patch auto, 6 of 15. I mean, it's just one of the few times that sign language would really come in handy. At least in your day-to-day experience. I don't know how often other people encounter needing to use it, but this is one of the few times that I do. Jordan Davison, 32 of 35. Deuce Knight, 25 of 35. Quintravian Weiser, 16 of 75. Elijah Olkey, 26 of 50. Max Brosmer, 1 of 1. Got a little bit of the laundry tag up in there. Bryce Underwood and Brady Schmiegel, dual auto. Dual patch auto, actually. And Bayshield Tootin, 28 of 35. Box number 5, halfway point of the break. Oscar Dios, 3 of 10. Justin Williams, 1 of 1. Will Griffin, 18 of 25. Rudolph Blaze Ingram, 17 of 25. Brady Quinn, 19 of 30. John Elway, 3 of 5. Patch auto. And George McIntyre, 3 of 6. Patch auto. Box 6. Derek Meadows, 9 of 50. Will Howard, 17 of 50. Penny Boone, 7 of 25. Zach Katz, 38 of 55. Rock Taylor, 24/45. Patch auto. Travion Henderson, 1/1. And Jim Kelly. Patch auto. 1/3. Box 7. Darren Williams, 7/25. Carson Gordon, 3/35. Brady Cook, 5/5. Donovan Olagbode, 40/50. Dylan Sampson, 11/45. Nice little patch. Gunnar Stockton and Dylan Bell, 1/4. Dual auto. And Chris Mitchell, patch auto, 2/4. Box 8. Kyron Jones, 17/35. Derek Cooper, 7/50. Caden Prather, 8/25. Nick Anderson, 42/75. Braden Fowler-Nicolosi, 20/25. Cam Coleman, 26/50. And Tyler Shunk, 5/10. Patch auto. Box 9. Kadana Bumfeld, 1/1. Brady Allen, 3/5. Michael Pine, 6/7. Phil Maffa, 7/35. Achilles Smith Jr., 68/75. Kurt Warner, 1/1. Sick looking patch in there. And Maddox Madsen, patch auto redemption. And final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Jacoby George, 21/50. Achilles Smith Jr., 29/35. Trevor Jones Jr., 30/75. Quintravian Wisener, 28/35. Maddox Madsen, redemption. Lamar Bo Jackson, 20/35. And Phil Maffa, patch auto, 13/15. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you all so much for being part of the break. As always, go and get a hit recap going real quick. Then we'll take care of our randoms. We do appreciate y'all being in here on a Saturday morning. Hope your New Year has been going well. DJ Bordeaux, Therian Coleman, Harlan Berry, Caleb Cunningham, Ja'Cory Watson, Special K, Juju Lewis, Noah Roberts, Derek Baker, TJ Moore, Ryan Montgomery, David McComb, Amarian Hampton, Bryce Underwood, Jared Curtis, Dylan Jones, Quentin Gibson, Jaden Baugh, Jordan Davison, Riley Leonard, Jordan Davison, Deuce Knight, Quintravian Wisener, Elijah Olkey, Max Brosmer, Big Shul Tootin, Oscar Dios, Justin Williams, Will Griffin, Rudolph Blaze Ingram, Brady Quinn, John Elway, George McIntyre, Derek Meadows, Will Howard, Penny Boone, Zach Katz, Rock Taylor, Travion Henderson, Jim Kelly, Darian Williams, Carson Gordon, Brady Cook, Donovan Olagbode, Dylan Sampson, Chris Mitchell, Kyron Jones, Derek Cooper, Caden Prather, Nick Anderson, Braden Fowler-Nicolosi, Cam Coleman, Tyler Shunk, Kanata Mumfeld, Brady Allen, Michael Pine, Phil Maffa, Achilles Smith Jr., Kurt Warner, Maddox Madsen, Jacoby George, Achilles Smith Jr., Tramble Jones Jr., Quintravian Wisener, Maddox Madsen, Lamar Bo Jackson, and Phil Maffa. And headed to random.org. Dual auto, Gunnar Stockton, Dylan Bell, Deuce Knight and Bryce Kane, and Bryce Underwood and Brady Schmiegel. Alright, that is it for football. We are on to 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball here in a few minutes. Going to get that set up and get it go. But first, we're going to head to random.org and knock these three out. Back to that in just a second. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Give it to your high to valid for us. We're going to go 4 times on each random, starting off with Gunnar Stockton and Dylan Bell. That is 3 times. Final roll. Dylan Bell with the win. Congratulations. Deuce Knight and Bryce Kane. Final roll. Bryce Kane with the win. Congratulations. And finally, Bryce Underwood and Brady Schmiegel. Final roll. Brady Schmiegel with the win. Congratulations. Alright, that is it for football. Thank you guys again for being in here. We are on to 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball here in a few seconds. We'll get that set up and get to go. And back to you guys momentarily. Alright, welcome in everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks on B. Today we've got one case of 2025 Leaf Lumber Baseball to get into. While we get started, feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, BMC.collectibles, and save us as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks, and let you know we go live and if you're live. Also, to mention no purchase necessary, link down in the description. How do you get involved? These are pre-sold breaks. They sold the night before, but we should have some other stuff coming at some point. Box number 1. Good luck, everybody. George Foster, 1 of 2. Rob Ventura, 9 of 35. Fall Classics, 6 of 6. Mike Schmidt, Pete Rose, George Brett, Bake McBride, Frank White, and Willie Wilson. And Robin Yount, 4 of 25. Box number 2. Derek Jeter, 3 of 30. Troy Tulowitzki, 18 of 45. Frank Robinson, Roger Maris, Dick Groat, Nellie Fox, Ernie Banks, and Mickey Mantle. Sextuple patch, 2 of 4. And Jay Buhner, 17 of 30. Box number 3. Ralph Kiner, 5 of 7. Manny Ramirez, 8 of 35. Bat Knob, 1 of 1. Frank White. Boom. And Al Oliver, 9 of 35. Box 4. Paul Molitor, 5 of 25. Sadaharu O, 3 of 25. Frank Thomas, 2 of 5. And dual patch auto, Juan Gonzalez and Ruben Sierra, 5 of 12. Box 5, halfway point of the break. Greg Maddux, 3 of 6. Eddie Murray, 18 of 25. Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani, 2 of 6. And Joe Torre, 12 of 35. Box number 6. Booklet in here. Mike Schmidt, 18 of 20. Mark McGuire, 1 of 3. Go off the back. Chris Sabo, 9 of 15. And today's lineup. sick. Ricky Henderson, Derek Jeter, Barry Bonds, Reggie Jackson, Pete Alonso, Mike Piazza, and Matt Williams, Fred Lynn, and Frank White. 2 of 5. Well, random.org is going to have its work cut out for it today. Box 7. Vladimir Guerrero, 6 of 6. Jim Wynn, 4 of 4. Octo Patch, 10 of 25. Nolan Ryan, George Springer, Cesar Cedeno, Dickie Joe Thon, Ken Caminiti, Denny Walling, Jeff Bagwell, and Terry Poole. And Todd Zale, 9 of 40. Box number 8. Jeff Kent, 6 of 20. Victor Martinez, 1 of 5. Devon White, 4 of 5. And Frank Thomas, Manny Ramirez. Dual patch auto. 1 of 8. Box 9. Hubie Brooks, 20 of 45. Robin Yount, 10 of 20. Dick Groat, Ernie Banks, and Hank Aaron, 5 of 8. And Nolan Ryan, dual patch auto, 5 of 6. And final box of the break, box number 10. Good luck, everybody. Jim Rice, 12 of 20. Pete Rose, 2 of 4. Barry Bonds, Juan Gonzalez, Ken Griffey Jr., and Frank Thomas, 5 of 6. And 7 of 25, Don Mattingly. And that will do it, everybody. Thank you all so much for being part of the break. As always, going to get a hit recap going real quick. And then we'll take care of our randoms, of which we have just a mountain of. For the hits, George Foster, Robin Ventura, Robin Yount, Derek Jeter, Troy Tulowitzki, Jay Buhner, Frank White, Ralph Kiner, Manny Ramirez, Al Oliver, Paul Molitor, Sadahadu O, Frank Thomas, Greg Maddux, Eddie McMurray, Joe Torre, Mike Schmidt, Chris Sabo, Mark McGuire, Vladimir Guerrero, Jim Wynn, Todd Zeal, Jeff Kent, Victor Martinez, Devon White, Hubie Brooks, Robin Yount, Nolan Ryan, Jim Rice, Pete Rose, and Don Mattingly. And headed to random.org. Dual patch autos for Ruben Sierra and Juan Gonzalez, Manny Ramirez and Frank Thomas, Dick Groat, Ernie Banks, and Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, Juan Gonzalez, Ken Griffey Jr., and Frank Thomas, Mike Schmidt, Pete Rose, Bake McBride, George Brett, Frank White, and Willie Wilson, Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani. Mickey Mantle, Ernie Banks, Dick Groat, Nellie Fox, Frank Robinson, and Roger Maris. Nolan Ryan, Dick Joe Thon, Ken Caminiti, Terry Puel, George Springer, Cesar Cedeno, Denny Walling, and Jeff Bagwell. And booklet, today's lineup. Ricky Henderson, Derek Jeter, Barry Bonds, Reggie Jackson, Pete Alonso, Mike Piazza, Matt Williams, Fred Lynn, and Frank White. Alright, that is it for baseball. We're going to go over to random.org real quick, and we'll take care of all of these. We'll be back that in just a few seconds. Minutes. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Gotta roll some dice, get a theory how to be out for us. We're gonna go 5 times on each random, starting off with Juan Gonzalez, Ruben Sierra. Final roll. Juan Gonzalez with the win. Congratulations. Manny Ramirez and Frank Thomas. Final roll. Frank Thomas taking it home. Congratulations. Dick Grote, Ernie Banks, and Hank Aaron. Final roll. Hank Aaron coming out on top. Congratulations. Barry Bonds, Juan Gonzalez, Ken Griffey Jr., and Frank Thomas. Final roll. Juan Gonzalez taking it home. Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Bake McBride, George Brett, Frank White, and Willie Wilson. Final roll. Blake McBride, congratulations. Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, Giancarlo Stanton, Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani. Final roll. Mike Trout taking the win. Congratulations. Mickey Mantle, Ernie Banks, Dick Grote, Nellie Fox, Frank Robinson, and Roger Maris. Final roll. Frank Robinson with the win. Nolan Ryan, George Springer, Dickie Joe Thon, Cesar Cedeno, Ken Caminiti, Denny Walling, Terry Fuel, and Jeff Bagwell. Final roll. Ken Caminiti with the win. Congratulations. And finally, Ricky Henderson, Derek Jeter, Barry Bonds, Reggie Jackson, Pete Alonso, Mike Piazza, Matt Williams, Fred Lynn, and Frank White. That is 4 times. Final roll. Matt Williams with the win. Congratulations. Alright, that is it for baseball. We are on to 2025 Leaf Metal Sports Heroes Multisport. We'll be back that in just a few seconds. All right, welcome everybody to BMC Collectibles Breaks. I'm B. We've got one case of 2025 Leaf Motorsports Heroes Multisport Solo Edition to get into. I'll get started. Feel free to like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Instagram, BMC.collectibles, and tips as a seller on eBay. That'll make it that much easier to get back to us for more breaks and let you know when we go live on eBay Live. Also, mention over to this site, the link down in the description. Pack number one. Good luck, everybody. Paul Krause, 18 to 25. Gary Sheffield, 5 of 5. Doug Flutie, on card inscribed, 8 of 100. Dave Stewart, on card inscribed, 78 of 100. Steve Atwater, 15 to 20. Ray Mancini, 9 to 35. Sean Kemp, on card inscribed, 30 of 100. Ronaldo Nazario, R9, 3 of 5. Magic Johnson, 13 of 150, on card inscribed. Alonzo Mourning, 1 of 8. Robin Yount, on card inscribed, 95 of 100. Vinny Testaverde, 9 of 15. Lenny Wilkins, 10 of 15. Duolano for Jim Kelly and Vinny Testaverde, 3 of 3. That'll be added to random.org at the end of the break. Stay tuned for that if you have either of those two guys. Alvin Bethea, 3 of 4. Gary Payton, 27 of 35. Tony Oliva, 3 of 5. Paul O'Neill, 6 of 30. That time, the no sound part, that was on me. You guys are right. The first time, wasn't on our end. This time, definitely our fault. And Jose Cardinal, 4 of 8. Well, good news is we got a hit recap coming. So we'll go over everything in just a second. All right. For the hits, Dave Stewart, Gary Sheffield, Doug Flutie, Alonzo Mourning, Alvin Mateo, Gary Payton, Bill Parcells, Drew Pearson, and Bartola Colon. Big sexy. Paul Krause, Magic Johnson, Liddy Wilkins, Paul O'Neill, Kevin Holland, and Jose Cardinal. Steve Atwater, Ray Mancini, Sean Kemp, Ronaldo Nazario, Robin Yount, Betty Testaverde, Tony Oliva, and Raleigh Fingers. And headed to random.org. Dual Auto, Jim Kelly and Benny Testaverde. And Shador Sanders, Jalen Milroe. Alright, that is it for us for today. Thank y'all again. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. So look forward to having y'all back in here sometime soon. And we're going to head over to random.org real quick and knock these two out. We'll be back that in just a second. Alright, we've got random.org pulled up and good to go. Got to roll some dice. Got to be higher to be valid for us. We're going to go 9 times on each random, starting off with Jim Kelly and Benny Testaverde. That's 8 times. Final roll. Jim Kelly with the win. Congratulations. And finally, Shador Sanders and Jalen Milroe. That is 8 times. Final roll. Shador Sanders with the win. Congratulations. Alright, that is it for us for today. This has been BMC Collectibles Breaks. Look forward to having you back here sometime soon. And until next, everybody have a great start to your weekend and lead into the new year.